can I say? What can I say? Here is your host, Sean Demra. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Fuse Show. Tonight, show is sponsored by Prague's Runway and Brunch.
This February 19th, join us at Outside Lounge to celebrate Prague's 22 becoming 2 at the Prague's Runway and Brunch. Come experience an anniversary celebration like never before with a tasty brunch, a trip to the fashion runway, followed by a grand after party. Tickets $10,000. Available on eventbrite.com. You can also check Prague's 22 social media pages for physical ticket locations. Dress code, high fashion.
And as always, we like to kick the show off with a music video, and this one is GT Youth's Hard Life.
Cause when me looking at me life, me no reach where me want reach. So me happy say me there right now. And enough of my friends under concrete, them gonna wait on all out. Cause when me looking at me life, me no reach where me want reach. But me happy say me there right now. And enough of my friends under concrete, them gonna wait on all out. Yo, Jay, the struggle, yeah, so real. Yes, it's real. Don't let the pressure in the life get you down. Stand firm, get to youth, hold your ground. What goes around comes right back around. Your time soon. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bit hungry to me a shed tears. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. And that's why me promise myself me have to work hard. Cause me tired to see me mother work hard. Time to sit and take a rest and make you stand yard. Cause me want give your house with your own yard, mama. So many things you've been through. You never drown, you just swim through. But daddy never there for rescue. I just the faith that the Father will guide you. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Me never know when next meal will come from. You say God will provide that faith and wisdom. Believe in other words will come up on your tongue. Just pray for your needs and your needs will come. Cause growing up, life never did so easy. Man have to make it, believe me. Mama suffer too long, my time to carry on. See the mansion jacuzzi. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Hard life make me know how struggle feel. Hungry days make me know say struggle real. But man stand firm, tougher than damn steel. Them say pressure was fight, but me at the seal. Me never frightened for hungry. No, me never frightened for sufferation. When me belly it upon me use that as motivation. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about nights when me have to go a bed hungry till me a shed tears. Me know about hard life. Me know about hungry days. Me know about sufferation. But me I go make it one day.
And welcome back, guys. Welcome. So we have our guest tonight, a very special, a very unique um, guest. Um, been in the business for a very long time. So we're getting a little feedback. Okay. Yes. So welcome, Mr. Dynamix.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. You hear me? Is my voice loud and clear at
Yes,
your end?
yes. Crystal clear,
Okay, all
crystal
right.
clear. Glad to have
Okay,
you. Glad to have you on the show.
okay.
So
Any special rule of engagement for tonight?
no, I mean we vibes in, and the main thing is getting the people to know a little bit more about Mr. Dynamics. So let's go all the way back from childhood. Like give us a little bit the background of your childhood and how you got to this stage.
you're trying to check how much dementia that in place right now.
I want age and year.
Well, I really, going back as childhood that is a very hard memory to kind of recap. I know I was born in New Amsterdam, Savannah Park. I was told that I was a very disgusting child. I was told that I always thought I was a good boy,
Mhm,
so I was told I was a very disgusting child. I grew up in New Amsterdam. My father died when I was 11, and because I was such a good child, my mother had to give me to my uncle who lives in Georgetown.
mhm,
So he took care of me. I went to high school in Georgetown, living out of Southernville Park. So I started in New Amsterdam, went to Georgetown, I went to school at Charleston Secondary School, a short stint at Dolphin High School, and then I went to Charleston, and then from there, when I graduated school, I went to Kukwani, and I think I was there for a year.
mhm,
And from there, I went back to New Amsterdam. I was around 19, somewhere around there.
mhm,
I went to Technical Institute, where I did ordinary technician diploma. And from there, I was awarded a government scholarship. I went to the University of Guyana. And I don't know if that's the information you want to have, but from there I started working at
no, that's good.
when when I graduated school, which was 1984, University of Guyana. I went to work with Sonata Textile Mill.
Mm.
That's not a wrong now. So if you're born anytime new, so there's one. But that's the Rum Belt area right now in Georgetown. That whole area where they get the hardware store and a whole bunch of stuff. Things change up. I ain't been back to Guyana since 2014. So I don't
Mhm,
know what's happening there from then to now. I worked there for like 2 years, and sorry, I started working there in '85. Then I left there in '87, and I started working myself. I opened up my business in Duncan Street, Campbellville, at 7th Duncan Street, and Stone Avenue.
and what
My
business was that?
It was electronic repair and music and sales, which is what I'm in until this day. Um, and I moved from Robs, but I didn't. I moved the business from Duncan Street, and I went into Rob Street, and that was in 1997 or something like that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had that business there until I left Guyana. Well, it took about 2012, 2013. So I just literally worked well for the government for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Sonata Texamil was a government agency, so I was there for 2 years. And I did have a short stint at the Ministry of Information. Yeah, that's where I started. After I finished Technical Institute, before I went to university, there was a year between my stint between New Amsterdam Technical Institute and the university was a year. So I went to work for the Ministry of Information for that year. Then I went to university. Then I from university I got choose for textile mill, and I was there as the electrical superintendent for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I left that job because I was making more money on the outside than on the inside. Back in them days, it was very communication. They were kind of scrambling the signal, the TV signal. So I was one of this kid that used to build these scramblers and stuff. So I
Mm-hmm.
spent most time building stuff and putting up antennas and stuff for people. I was making more money on the outside than on the inside. So I just left the job. I said, hey, and that was thanks to another guy. He's not alive right now, but that's one of the guy who encouraged me to into the entrepreneur business of having my own business because I was always scared of launching it into my own stuff. But this guy, the name of Godwin McPherson, he wasn't the head of the army, but he was a colonel. He was in a good position in the army, and I used to be doing all the servicing for the frontline band, which was the string band at the army base. So he said, "But you get all these skills, and you still want to work with people. You need to work with yourself." So I you know after getting the encouragement, I just decided I'm gonna launch into the deep, and I registered my business, and that was it. I worked for myself for almost 30 something years. So
Mm-hmm.
it
Nice.
wasn't easy working with yourself. And easy, because if you don't work, you can't get paid.
That's right.
Well,
Mhm.
I can't speak to the choir because you do the same right now. If you don't put in the work, But I had a very healthy business in Georgetown.
Mhm.
I supplied the equipment to most of the schools, most of the string bands. I did all the servicing for most of the bands and clubs and guys with sound systems. Stone Love Sound System, one of the sound system that I started. I have built that from scratch. You
Mm.
know, uh, Rhythm Stars, another sound system back in the days. I built that from scratch. I had my own sound system also, Dynamix. We used to control this in the earlys. We controlled the school crew. You
Mm.
know, we were kind of like a little kind of punk rock kind of stuff. We going to all the parties. All at the end of the term, we playing in all the parties and stuff. So um, I was the sound engineer a sound engineer and technician for Mingo Sound Machine from like 8 to 9 to like about 9 to 4, 9 to 5. I toured with a band to Canada, US, and a couple of places. Um, what else? What else I could tell you? Um, and in school, I did a little bit of singing. I was a Lionel Richie guy. You want to hear Lionel
Hey.
Richie, you call Ian Johnson. I had a girlfriend back in the day named Linda Simon, and I used to go and just call up and close my eye tight and just think about Linda and just sing hello. Is it me you're looking for? You know.
All right.
So
So was the interest in music recordings, the engineering part, or what part did you pick up on that?
Well, as I said before, I was integral in the music for a very long while. Matter of fact, in my earlier life, my father had a jukebox named the Joker. I used to go and play out with the jukebox. And
Mm.
I was like about. My father died when I was 11, so I had to be like around 8, 9, or 10, somewhere around there. I used to go in the parties that he get booked for. He said, leave me in the party. Back in those days, you had mixer and all them fancy thing was a tube amplifier and a turntable with a long shank down the middle. And you had to be skillful to throw on the record and push it from the beginning. And that's how you mix it. When it's down there at the end, you make and you continue all the stuff. So I had a background with music from way back. I grew up in a house where records and turntables and stuff. And my uncle was a technician, Leslie Hart. God rest his dead. He's dead. So
Mm.
most of my technical ability was leaning towards him because most of the time, a matter of fact, as a youngster, he was the only uncle house I could have gone to. Nobody else wanted me at the house. I was when I turn up, everything break up. So, and I and that was the only place I used to go and spend holiday. Nobody, no, you could send anybody else. Don't send Ian. Don't send Ian. Ian can't come. So Ian, only place Ian is enough, and he used to live in Blackbush Polders. I was in Blackbush Polder or Marrow, wherever he was. I There's the only place I used to go and spend holiday, and I would learn to go and mess around some equipment, break up a couple people thing,
Mhm.
until everybody just called me. So I was remind them, you remember them days when they're young and you tail in warm by your house, you got to pay extra for this repair right now because that didn't help me in the process.
Mm.
So as like music on the whole, I had a musical background. I started in school, and then in when I was going to the technical institute, that was in about 80 something in 1980.
Mm.
We started a band in New Amsterdam named Voices. It was myself, Ian LaFleur, Eddie Helliger, Letitia. Can't remember her title. Um, and Clyde Johnson. We had a group named Voices.
Mm.
So I was in the hub. We used to keep our own concert. We used to be at the town hall, keeping our concerts and stuff in New Amsterdam. So uh, and then when I was in Georgetown, I did double with a couple of bands and them kind of stuff too. Not in the singing arena. I did a few, special concerts. I'd sing one,
Mm.
two song, but I was more known for my repairing skills and stuff. So, um, um, in though back when I in that whole era, I was doing basically repair work for almost all the big sound system. My good friend Raw was a little boy then still going to school. I used to be working for his father, Douglas Roy, because he had the Fusion sound system. I used to be doing all the repairs for Fusion, doing the repair for Tennessee sound system. You name the sound system again, everybody know me as a repair guy.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
and by doing all of that, I can remember it was 1992. I went on tour with Mingles to Canada. I recorded the band because I'm gonna tell you something now that some of them guys didn't know, so they're gonna know it tonight. So there's just a little secret. I'm talking out some of my tales right now. I recorded the band in Canada, right, and then I duplicated cassettes and I sold over 15 or $1,600 worth of cassettes in Canada.
Mm.
I converted that money into equipment, went back to Guyana, and started my studio in 1993, which was a year after I came back from Canada. I was among the first in Guyana. They had a few other people, I think Sean Bowler and another guy named, I can't remember, his title was Burnett. I can't remember his first name. They had a system, and there was another guy named Chung or something like he had a system. I was amongst the first with a digital studio,
Mhm.
and I talking about in a time when it was, some of the folks wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. It was Windows 3.1. It's not in this time
Floppy disk.
where it is Windows. Where we at right now?
11, I think. 11.
Well, all right. There was no. We were. there was Windows, there was DOS. It was a DOS system, Windows 3.1. And to get stuff to work back in them days, it was hell because it was an IRQ. Everything had to be assigned. And if you didn't get it right, it never worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to be looking wrong to find people in Guyana to help me out. And no, I had to learn that stuff on my own. I had to go and Google and call the company and all kind of stuff until I got my stuff to work. I had um, uh, 16 track of digital recording. I had a nice big mixing board. I was amongst the force. That was before Cross Colors and all them. Before Vision Songs. I have to put a piston on my rock right now. You
Mm-hmm.
know, this is before Cross Colors and Vision Songs and Pete's Caribbean Fusion, and you know, they came up just after the scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So and I started training and other people on the job with the stuff. We had Ralph Prescott, you had Joel Chan, he's the bassman. He's a good bassman. He's in New York, he's in America somewhere. I don't know which state he's in, but um, and then you had Wade Proctor and a couple of other people who used to be around. Dan Lee Major, who eventually got his own studio after then. They were all with me. I had a whole bunch of people that was with me when I started off on the journey. We had good equipment, and we did a whole bunch of work in the beginning. When we started, I think it was 1996. We did like about 4 or 5 CDs, and that was probably the same year we recorded Custody on cassette.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first person to record Cassidy. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
putting throwing out some of my bragging rights here right now. So
So move forward now. We I guess we in the 2000s now, where you start um dealing with artists. Like you would say who is the first artist you actually manage?
well, to put
Let,
it
let's
this way,
start from let's move from
I was
yeah.
like never in the management business. Let me
Mm,
tell you what ended up happening to me. Make I lose focus on management and stuff. When we did those CDs in 1996, I was all excited, and I said, okay, we get Guyanese music and we're gonna go and we can get this thing played. And hey, I gonna beat Quincy Jones, and I said, whoever else was the big thing wrong, then I was supposed to be that
music.
person then, you know. So I opened my excitement, and I gone to the radio station and carried my music, just to let people turn up your nose, and it wasn't. If I talk them story right now, you gotta get 5 days. It wasn't a nice situation. You carried the thing to the radio. Back in them days, it was Pancho Kiru and a couple of people. There was Bertie Chancellor on the radio, Clem David Dave, but give your stuff a little spin. But the mainstream radio was Pancho Kiru with Best by Request. If your song played on Best by Request,
Mm,
you was it. If it wasn't on Best by Request, scratch yourself out. You know,
mm,
and we got this nice music with Coffee Ranks and Major Joe B and a whole bunch of people in reggae and stuff. And your music can't play on the radio. And I become very, very, very angry and I'm probably still angry till now, man. Because, I
mm,
behave like if I get the whole heap of mental health situations. So with my passion and stuff for just to get the music played, I started lobbying to be heard, to the music to be heard on radio. So I went into the radio station. I met a whole bunch of unnecessary people. I didn't want to call nobody name. Some of them still alive. They're dead, they call their name, but they're still alive right now. So I know if I got to cross them back again. Meet
mm,
some unnecessary people who wasn't helpful. You know, and I was given the opportunity to do radio on Sundays from 1 to 2 o'clock. I had to do a cassette. And this was in like 96, 97, around the same time. I had to produce a cassette every Sunday from 1 to 2. It was Guyana Music Plant was the name of the production. And that name came from Negus Norris. His father was Kenneth Norris. And me and him had that label. That was our first label, Guyana
mm,
Music Plant, and we produce this stuff every Sunday and produce it and send it to the radio. The radio play the music and stuff. We weren't like radio. We weren't live on radio like everybody else. We had to send in a cassette, and
mm,
I was happy with that because it's the only thing for now. And then radio evolved, and then I think it was around 99, and I started DJ, started jumping on the radio with the wrong English and a whole bunch of is and R and what and where and when. And the situation changed. I went and played my case that I got to go live. If these people can't talk going on the radio, I got to be on the radio. So I'm going to fight my case. We started doing well, of course, it was subsidized radio. Myself and my friend named Perry Farina, we started. I was Mr. Dynamix. He was the East Coast Bengal. So it was
Mm.
What's Hot Guyana. So some folks who feel What's Hot Guyana. Some I come to America and a man want thief What's Hot Guyana for me, like if he own it. I ain't calling him name, but he know himself, right? But it was since in 1997, 98
Mm.
we were on the radio doing What's Hot Ghana. People said that nobody not gonna listen to Guyanese music, it's boring and stuff. And we were on the radio for 2 hours. We were on the radio from 8 to 10. And then we started getting so much sponsorship that we extended the hour from 8 to midnight. So we were on the radio every Friday night from 8 to midnight. When the spot get hot and nice, remember we were subsidized on the radio. So
Mm.
when the spot get nice and other people watching on and stuff, answer my call buy all the time from them at the bigger money, but we couldn't match it. I mean, we some youngsters with rock pocket youngsters. So the time got buyout and we were forced to move to another night. So the movie from Friday night to Tuesday night. We get Tuesday hot. When Tuesday get hot, somebody else buy out the Tuesday night. We had to move from Tuesday night to put it to Saturday morning from 7 to some other time.
Mm.
And everywhere we went, the spot get hot. So we couldn't afford it. And then the government keep changing and the favors keep rolling differently, and one of the stuff I can remember clearly that happened back in those days, the marketing department at GBC. If we go and bring in a new sponsor, the people are excited about the stuff we're doing. They would go behind our back and go to the people and get them a better deal for the whole station from Monday to Sunday, 24/7. Somebody go back to them again and say, man, I get a better deal with the station, and they're on every day. So they didn't make a deal for us. They didn't make the deal for the station, and we keep
Mm.
getting kicked off to the side all the time. I'm gonna call this by the name because he was very, very disrespectful. Raymond Aziz was the man doing the marketing back in them days. He went and cut deals with all these people and shift free out, shift free out, shift free out. A very disrespectful man. If I see right now, I think I'll
Yeah,
probably
we
get
didn't do
locked up.
that. You ain't gonna do that part.
No, it was very disrespectful. He keep shutting me out all the time, all the time, all the time. And I say if I get when I start because I started my own life very soon. I can start calling some people names because some people were very disrespectful in the business. And we from the whole what's hot scenario and everything, I started when the government changed again. We were given there was this Indian guy who started to manage the station, Mr. De Groot. When he came back in, we had new favors. All the favors that we had before, he put down, he added some more stuff because he said, Guyanese music got to play on the radio station.
Mm.
And we got a nice deal again. So we were back in feeling nice until he got kicked out. When he got kicked out of the station, whoever took over, put it
Square
back to how
one.
it been before, and we got a long big boots up the ass. So we had to leave again. So the prices were off the roof. So we had the option of we couldn't afford radio and the timings that we were having. So
Mm.
we moved from, and this is important for the history of the Guyanese music because a lot of people don't really know this. We moved from radio and went to Channel 9. Now, a lot of people talking about they're responsible for Guyanese music. If anybody got a mistake, a claim on Guyanese music in Guyana for the development, it's Channel 9. I think they have the 96, one of them station is their station right now, 96.1. I can't remember, I don't know the number. But
Mm.
Channel 9 was responsible for the development of Guyanese music. We went to Miss Eve with the mega budget that we had. We were on television Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, 5 days in a week, right? But
Mm.
we didn't have video content because we couldn't even afford cameras. How we know that we just want people to hear the music. So we set up a setting where we put a DJ on there, and then we would talk about the music, do interviews and stuff, and we would have the DJ spinning the music, and then we would have people come in and sing live because that's where my skill in and sound engineering skill, sound background. That was my strength. So we were
Mm.
having live performances on television. So our video, our television format was basically radio on a TV.
Mhm. Mhm.
But it worked because people started tuning in, and we started getting a very large following on the radio. Even to
Nice.
the point, and this is notable right now, even to the point that Hits and Jams, when they were doing Jam Zone, they come and buy out our section for 2 months. They would come and take over our program for 2 months. They would come and promote Jam Zone on a station that played Guyanese music all the time.
Mm.
So this thing that it can't happen is just that we we always get a square peg in a round hole, and some people just miss the mark. Some people, I don't know, but this is something I want people to soak in and repeat it again. Jam Zone, which was run by Rod and Corwin, Hits and Jams, used to come. And if I think a lion asked them to come and maybe do another live, and they could rebut this on the station here, on any station, with me, with anybody
Mhm.
they want to go. They come and they had to buy out our time-ins from, let's say, for 2 months straight. They would come and take over our Friday night. We never said turn up. They used to send the representative, and we just play our ads and stuff. And they come and they promote Jam Zone on our spots every Friday night. We used to do What's Hot Guyana. They come on the What's Hot Guyana show every Friday night and promote Jam Zone.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we had a nice little niche on Channel 9, and that's where I started to. I started a program named Talent Exclusive, but it was between Channel 9 and another station named Channel 4, which is the same station that HJ have right now.
Mm.
It was STVS 4 before it turned HJ 92, wherever is the number it is right now. But it was STVS 4, and we were doing Talent Exclusive over there with Dr. Love, where every Saturday morning from 10 to 1 o'clock, everybody and the dog, the cat, wherever they have used to be glued to the to the television just to see
Mm.
young people come and present talent. That's where a lot of people were brought from that. The Shelly G's come out from on that, the Jories come out of that, the G Money came out of that, Malcolm Ferreira came out of that. You name the artists, and they were, once they were of age, they came out from that. Benji Diamond, Gat Kid, Gadai King, you know, I can't even remember some of the names, man, but they came out of that whole era of uh, to be doing our talent exclusive on channel 4.
Mm.
And then when we get brave enough, we decided, okay, we want to charge for this thing. So we went and begged the owner for Blue Iguana if we could do the program there on a Saturday. So we should go and do the program on the TV station. Then we go over to Blue Iguana and we should do a live thing, and then people come in and pay. Whoever get money, pay. Who won't get money and pay. And we go and do a presentation like an after lunch stuff at Blue Iguana every single Saturday for a long while. So it was very proactive,
Mhm.
and from coming out of that event, we decided we're gonna keep our first show, which we call What's Hot Guyana at the Culture Center. Now, I know if I jump in the gun, I want to lead this thing into where you don't want it going. So
No,
if
no,
I
no. Go
talk
ahead.
into much
Go
stuff, man,
ahead.
right? Because I could go on and on. I could record decimal. So from we said we're gonna keep our first What's Hot Guyana at the Culture Center, which was in 2005. Yeah, 2005,
Mhm.
right? So we 2005, Adrian and Jomo was like 2 years into times two. That was the hottest thing other than sliced bread in the moment. Adrian and Jomo, throw your hands up, and all the songs and that they had TikTok and all them stuff was running around the time. So they were the headliners for our What's Hot Ghana show at the Culture Center. Went out for sponsorship and stuff. The corporate people, I don't want to use some. I want to use that in a word, but use a
Polish
church
it.
by.
Polish it. Did his phone go dead? So we having some technical difficulties, and Hopefully he'll come back in a few seconds. But in the meanwhile, um, Mr. Dynamics, uh,
Um, let me see.
not seeing your video.
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Okay, let me
But
go and see.
no video. Enable your video.
Why the hell you do that right now? You asking me all these things, but
All right, there
okay,
you go.
I think I'm back. Somebody
Mhm.
just call and
Oh,
hit
not
me
yet.
off.
Okay, you have
Yes,
to wait.
where did I stop? You gotta help me here
Call,
because my
Coach
Alzheimer's might jump in right now.
Jomo and Adriana at the culture
Yeah,
center.
they were headline at the concert. Then we went out to see if we get sponsorship and for the program and stuff. You know, we were sponsored by some small businesses, all the big corporate people who've been spending thousands of dollars on foreign show, kick where we ass and say nobody ain't coming to see Guyanese music and no way. You know, I ain't gonna call the name of this company, but the executive at this big company, I went to him and he told me nobody ain't coming for stupid Guyanese artists at no place. So he kicked me out the whole thing. I still took stuff from them and stuff. The thanks to Colors Boutique Gizmos and Gadgets. Um, some people might want to call them question mark people, but those same question mark people are the people who start giving us money so we could get ads and all kind of stuff run and stuff for the show. But there was no corporate sponsorship to our What's Hot 2005. We
Okay.
sold out the culture center, front, back,
Mhm.
and every way. You could have took 2,000 people in the culture center. We had like about 2,700 people. People standing up in the
Mhm.
bay, all kind of stuff. People selling black market tickets and all them kind of stuff at the culture center just to come in to see Guyanese artists,
Mm.
right? When the show was finished, the guy from the company I just told you about who told me nobody is seeing Guyanese artists, he called me and said, "Hey, you win over the weekend, boy. I hear the thing fire, but here I'll do for you." He said, I'm gonna give you some money to cover some of your bills. So even though after the fact I get some sponsorship from the company, right? And then they promise that the next year they're gonna help me do the show.
So let's fast forward many years ahead, and we now at Caribbean Power Jam. You're doing your What's Hot um show there. What's the purpose? What's your drive behind doing the show?
My drive is still the same drive I had in 1996 to get people to appreciate the stuff that we have. And it's not so much the people on the other side of the listening spectrum. Many times it's the vehicle which we have to use to get to the next side of the spectrum that we get blockage on. You know, you go to the average person and they can turn and tell you, no, nobody in, no, don't nobody in feeling though. We ain't get no star in the Guyana
Mhm.
community. You know, but the same set of people who saying these same things, those are the same people who making stars from other people from other country, like in Guyana. The DJs them will take a no name Jamaican, give him a name. And then when you get the name, they're gonna pay the same person. Listen to me carefully. They're gonna pay the same person that they give a name to thousands of US dollars to come to Guyana to perform for them. And while they're doing this portion that they just make, they're asking the Guyanese artists to come and perform for free. We just gonna give you a little blind and a space and a blah blah blah. You know,
Mhm.
when they could have taken somebody from in their own community and make them just as big as the no-name Jamaican that they just make big.
Mhm.
I am apologizing to no Jamaican for this because this is a fact.
Mhm.
Me say all of them had no name, but I know what some no name ones that they make big by just playing the music, bam, 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 every single day,
Mhm.
right? And then when they're ready for dub plate and all kind of thing, they have to send them money, get the dub plate from the people them that they make big. So
Mhm.
we have the same problem we have today that we had 20 something or 30 years ago, where the um, what must say, the institution or the individuals who are responsible for promoting the stuff just before to promote foreign over local.
Mm.
I don't know how best to put it over. This don't
No, no,
take
no.
us, and it's not any bit different. It's the same thing today that it was then, you know. Flip on the other side. When I came to this country, I went to Power Jam and I said, listen to me, because when I came to the US in 2014, I was so pissed off at guy with music. I even want to tell you what I said, but it wasn't a good word. It's got four letters inside. The music, right? So I came here and I said, listen to me, I'm going back to school. So a big old man like me went to school. I went back to do IT, associate degree in IT technology. So I in school 3 years in the US, me and a big old man in a classroom, you know, because I was so pissed off with fighting. And then I recognized then that I was old. Because I've been in Guyana all the time doing all this stuff, and like I still feel like 16. But when I hit the US and some situations come to me, then I recognize, hey, he's a big ass man, but now, wait, oh, this is your future, you're gonna run behind something. And I always remember the words of Rudy Grant. When I was doing my stuff in Guyana, I spent a lot of money behind Guyanese music. I could have been a landlord for about 5 or 6 houses with the amount of money that I spent behind Guyanese music. And Rudy Grant was always the person to come to me and say, Ian, you need to start looking at your house. How are you going to provide for yourself when you get older? And I used to say, what happened to this banner? But old, I didn't even think, but old wasn't an option for me. It's like, I just going to stay. I drink from the fountain that going to keep me young forever. You know, it's not until I start using Just for Men that I recognize that Rudy was right, you know. Then I recognized that Rudy was right because, you know, I had no provision for my old age. I came to America and the hard reality of being so pissed off with the music. You know, I went and did the program. After the program, I started working at Verizon, and I'm there till now. So and then I'm comfortable, but then the zombie wake him up every night. Yeah, music,
Music.
and it's music. Yeah, yeah. Jumpy keep holding them ears and things. I said I'm gonna start off like I'm go and talk to Sean them. And then me and Sean them had one big views out and that kind of thing. There's another story. Views up Sean them for Guyanese artists and all kind of stuff. But I go over down there and I say, hey, this is what you know, and trust me, if Sean them showed a level of maturity in the same man listen to maybe you can give you the time, you can come over here. They gave me a nice deal and stuff, and I said, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start What's Hot Guyana at Caribbean Power Jam. It so happened at the same time there was this group of Guyana Music Foundation or Guyana Music Fraternity, and they were behind me all the time. So eventually I end up suckering up to the group and I say, okay. Then I said, look here, I have this program I'm gonna be doing on things. So I invite everybody to come so we could go to the station and do it together. And that was a disaster because I don't feel that people want to work together in this space. Everybody wants to be the boss. And I tell them it's only one Mufasa in the me camp. You know, you could be Simba or you could be Scar. Or you could just wait until I die and then you could be the next Mufasa. You know, this is how we meet, this is how this is going to be work. So and that was like 16 months ago, and I'm there at Power Jam, producing Guyanese music. You're there, you're asking people to send you the music, and so when you send me your music, it's radio. Just send me a clean version, and some of them send you everything that you know. I mean, I would play it for me, and I would even play it on the radio if it's acceptable by a whole bunch of people, but it's not accepted by a whole bunch of people. So they keep sending you this music, nice music. They could avoid those words that they use in it because it didn't make the song any better or worse. But everybody says a young people thing, you know, and I seem to be an old man. So me and know what's happening in the zing of these things right now. So I just wanna I started doing my stuff down there with Nikito, E.G. the Governor, Shabda was with us in the beginning, Gucci Boss, and that whole stuff, went into a 360. So I'm doing What's Hot Guyana. I'm running the chip right now. I am Mufasa. Anybody coming to work with me is one line king the gap. You either wait until I die and you take over, but No, I ain't getting five kings in me camp. I don't piss on me brick, and this brick is my brick.
So let me ask this question: if you had a loudspeaker over the world, or over, yes, let's say over the world, and you want whatever it is that you're saying to to get to the ears of people that can make changes, people that can actually, um, you know, make uh, the Guyana music industry like really move forward. What would you say to them?
I think you go too far. We don't need to speak to the world about Guyana music. The people got to speak for Guyana music is the Guyana government, which has done absolutely nothing for Guyanese music in the PNC, PPP, AFC. None of them C's or D's or whatever they had. None of them politicians in there the shit for Guyanese music. Now, when you go down this road, I get very emotional right now. So I might, might misbehave in this department. They haven't done shit for Guyanese music over the years. You had people who understood copyright who went into government like Cathy Hughes. Didn't do a shit for Guyanese music when she was in there. Yeah, so I mean, no, I applaud the president when he decided last year, September, that hey, I'm gonna spend some money in this industry because this is what Guyanese music business needs. It needs the influx of capital to make it happen.
Hmm.
Because as I see it, Guyanese music, and I want you all to listen to me carefully. Guyanese music right now is in purgatory. Now, Mr. Johnson, what nonsense you're talking? But hear what
Hmm.
I'm telling you. All music is in purgatory. Be music is in the place of the dead. Either be in judgment, either we could go to heaven, hell, or something. But everybody that did a competition and did a song and everything, all we rest in the place of purgatory with Hades. We just waiting right now for see if we can go into the light or we can go into the darkness.
Hmm.
And nobody is coming up with any plan to move the music from out of purgatory. So we have new competitions gonna come and all the winners gonna come and all we linemen in purgatory. Now we all in purgatory, everybody want to come out. So when you see somebody look like if they're gonna jump higher than you just pull your foot so everybody stay the same place.
Hmm.
So but there is no money, there is no investment to bring us out of purgatory. And how can we come out of purgatory? Purgatory means we have to open up opportunities for Guyanese music in other areas. Now, the government of Guyana spends all the money bringing people to Guyana, right? That's good, right? But for Guyanese music to make sense, it got to move from Guyana and go to the other shores across the face of the earth.
Hmm.
Now, if they don't support the initiatives of people and I'm angry with some of the people from here too, because most of the people who in New York, they've been here long before me. They couldn't
Brought
do.
you a drink. Compliments of Demrock. He said he liked the direction that this conversation is going, and you need to sip something. Yeah.
And my son come and talking to my throat must be dry. But listen to
Yes.
me. They needed to they need to spend money in getting the music moving from everybody is right now. All the Shelly G, the Tamika Marshall, you just name the name right, and everybody sits in purgatory. Some people escape purgatory because they get some Guyanese artists in the other part of the world who get good gigs happening for them. Some of them
Hmm.
who do the European tours and them kind of stuff. But they don't ever come back to tell anybody else this side what's going on, and they have a reason why. I talked to one guy. You see, he tried to help some people come to the door, and they go behind the back and try to kick you out the own gig. He try to bring them in.
Hmm.
So we need to understand that for us to move ahead, we gotta throw away some of the crab in the barrel mentality. If I come to Sean for something, then Sean is the person who gonna have to lead this thing. I can't come to Sean because I see Sean talking to Harry. I can jump Sean and go to Harry because Harry is the guy, not Sean. But Sean have a better relationship with Harry. Sean could pull out more stuff out of Harry than I would. Harry doesn't know me,
Hmm.
and that's the problem with Guyanese artists. And I'm gonna take a 360 right now just to make a point. And the point I'm making is gonna hurt a lot of people, but it has to be told. And I'm gonna tell it tonight on the Dem Rock. What is your name? Fuse.
Hmm.
But corruption fused tonight. So I can just tell you, Adrian and Jomo, when they were in the height of what they were doing, had a wonderful opportunity to open up the doors and take the Guyanese business music out of purgatory. But selfish desires stopped them from doing that. When all the world was looking at them and they were getting the job, they choose to kick out the management then so because they want all the money for themselves. And you tell them I said that. Ian Johnson said that, right? Because I could stand by my word, I could represent myself. Firstborn, Walter Fraser. This is not the guy you should interview. Wally Fraser from Vision Songs. Spent hundreds of thousands of dollars flying them to Jamaica, like if Jamaica was quarantined or or the West Side. Every other weekend they're in Jamaica, they come back, they fly, they go back, they come back. Beautiful album he made with them. They come to America for a tour, and there's another group that will take off with a team. Everybody want to hire and book them. You know what they did? They screw over the management again because they're all selfish. They want all the money for themselves. There was another opportunity with another group who could have led the way out to purgatory, but because of selfish desire, right? They screw up the industry. So they come out here and then when the promoters them want to deal with them and everything because you gotta get principle to exist in this business. Yeah. And you don't know everybody. You just think you know everybody. It's like you go to China, you watch Chinese picture, you see the man show you the monkey thing and the snake face, but you left back one or two things that is reserved. So when you think you know the snake face or the monkey food, you don't know nothing because the most important ingredient you ain't get it as yet. So they didn't have it, and all them want to jump and run by themselves. If they stayed with management, Butch know a whole bunch of people. Wally know a whole. They ain't got nobody in the music business for getting no more people than Wally. And they run away from that, and short circuit them. So now these are people who've been working with people spending money. What happened to the rest of the people who come after them? But you take the same amount of investment and put it in somebody fresh when you just get screwed without grease. No KY, just spare spit. Right? So those are the two opportunities, and there are many more like that. You look at most of the Guyanese artists. When the music start playing on the radio or somebody in New York tell them something, they all them fit in, all them get a fit of an attitude. So you can't get nowhere. The attitude alone just deter you from even wanting to do business with them. That's why my circle is very small. I just deal with Shelly and my son. I might help a whole bunch of people, but if there's anybody that I'm gonna put out myself or put my head on a block for, is them two artists. I'll help a lot of other people. But it don't come easy. You, my son and Shelly would tell me think come with a whole bunch of costs and behavior because I have no behavior. So I start my story up front, you know. But this business for us to move forward, Sean. I mean, you asked me a question and I gone in a different direction.
You go ahead. You go ahead.
But the influx of money, and I'll give you another example right now. And this is just in keeping with the same trend that I just spoke about. The president said, and everybody heard that speech. Anybody interested in music heard the speech. He said he's going to put $9 million into the music industry. And that was in September or July of last year. It was supposed to happen immediately. But the three studios that he called, and I don't call name because I'm not afraid of nobody. He called the three names to the studio that he can give, and Sammy was one of the people that he called, and Sammy did not have a studio. But because Sammy had the ears of the president, Sammy stalled the whole project from last year, July, to present day. Until he could go and negotiate, forget probably the whole $9 million that was supposed to spend in artists, because right now he just finished building his own studio. And if you keep him watching YouTube, you're gonna hear you don't see what's going on. He spent a nice studio, he spent a nice bag. You know, nice, I know about the equipment, nice equipment inside. What I'm saying, but for selfish reason, a whole project that the president tried to initiate just started because one man decided he got to get what he got to get. So whatever you go and tell the president, it was enough for the president to put a pause on it until he got his studio. And now, I guess by now that the studio up and running, then the whole process of free recording might start happening. But I'll say this again, right? If one studio record everybody, then everybody have a monotone. Guyana that's gonna sound one way. Everybody did not sound ching 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 because this was end up happening with the studio, right? What happened to all the other existing studios in Guyana? They wasn't good enough for upgrade or some support. And that's the question I'm asking. I'm sorry I had to ask you in your program. I know you want to get political, but don't invite me on your program when you know me mouth and get no covers. And you asked me a question about how can we, if I have to tell anybody anything, if I have to tell anybody, I'll tell the president of Guyana that Samuel Medas doesn't represent the music fraternity of Guyana. He might be good and he's a very talented person. I wouldn't take away no talent from Sammy. I was used to be recommending Sammy. When Jackie did Guyana, I was the person to tell Jackie to go and find Sammy. I like the guy vibes, you know. I just don't like his selfishness. But he's a talented person. And he wanted to lead. And then he make a wrong statement. He said that he don't want no old people from before. So I wanted to know what foundation they were riding on when they were with the president. Because if we didn't have a foundation before, then they had to do all the work that we did in the earlys. So you come and meet something that you could even make a declaration like that. They didn't want none of the old people because we had the time. We had with time, but no government never gave me nothing. You think if the government they give me $9 million in me prime in me life, I would be having this conversation right now. I wouldn't be the Jay-Z of freaking Guyana right now, or what was the other guy, or um,
Kanye.
or PDD or Kanye or something for Guyana. You know what I mean? But nobody never gave me nothing. All the stuff that I didn't get, I did out of my pocket. And I want to talk this story, tears just come to my eyes because I robbed my kids, and I used to be warning you about this, Sean. You know I talked to you about this. I robbed my kids the opportunity of going and run around with them in the afternoon because I was gallivanting and running behind Guyanese music and other Guyanese artists who didn't give a shit about me anyway. So it's I don't know. I this is I and if I have any apology to make in music, I will apologize to my children now. Because when I supposed to be running them and carrying them for the snow cone and thing in the afternoon, I running behind Chinese artists, everybody else children, except my
Hmm.
own children. I mean, I get them a good education. They can't deny me that. I make sure that they go to school, get a proper education. All them educated, but I didn't give them the little sprinkle. You get the ice cream, you must get little sprinkles on top of it. The sprinkles wasn't there. Somebody else had to do the sprinkle for me. I don't know if Joe Grimes was sprinkling the sprinkles to me or who, but I wasn't there for do the sprinkles. And if I regret anything, it's not giving my kids them the extra time that I give to other Guyanese artists. Because
Yeah.
when in 2009, when I finished doing the What's Hot Guyana, everybody know the story between me and Jory. Jory charged me 30,000 US, 30,000 Guyana dollars for the show. He was supposed to give me 15 minutes of performance. He ended up performing for like about 8 minutes because he had to go to Linden. I gave him $20,000 and I owe him $10,000. And the Mr. Limpy song came out as a result of me owing Jory $10,000. That's a guy that I invested my time in. The time I was supposed to go and carry my children for walk and get them ice cream in the afternoon. I've been spending with them,
Hmm.
helping them become better. And they're gonna team up with other people to put me out of the business.
Hmm.
Because back in the days when Mr. Limpy came out, it wasn't about the song. It was about shutting me down because I was the visible person that was seen with the Guyanese artists in their way. Once you're talking Guyanese music, you're talking Ian Johnson. Because the only person they saw with them young people was me every Saturday, every Monday, every Wednesday, every
Hmm.
Thursday, every Friday night, Saturday. So they thought that this was a wonderful opportunity to erase me. And two people who never used to be with one another team up together. The HJ and the Christian Duncan. I call them people name because I want to sue man. They team up so they could get rid of Ian Johnson from inside the place so they can be an open support and them and take over the music. And you know what the Guyanese artists did? All of them stayed quiet with the exception of a few. Stayed quiet, didn't say nothing. All of them pull in a corner, waiting to see if this hostile takeover gonna happen, and
Hmm.
and Johnson will be no more, and they're gonna go and find the new people there.
So what do you think was the main reason or the main purpose to get Ian Johnson out?
Because
What was the incentive?
we did all the hard work. It's a Sammy situation now right now. We did all the hard work, all the overboard and done gone, the ground done set already. Sammy got the ears of the president right now, and he was the guy. The president calling his name steady. Everything is Sammy, 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 Sammy. So he become empowered, and he just decided, listen to me, hey. Um, I gonna make this thing happen, and all Sammy wanted to happen was himself, and this we did. He looked after himself. He got a own studio. I don't know what did he make. I see Mark Samuel and company, wherever it is. So the company could come and to me right now. But everything I tell you tonight is facts and truth. So it was just a case of selfish desire where people just wanted to take over the business. If they took over the business, because by then I had done 5 watts at Guyana. I'm sorry, I ain't getting no footage for send for you and they spin it right now. But we did 5 watts had Guyana. All our shows had over 4,000, 5,000 people inside without no big mega sponsorship, which is the artists and everybody mobilizing themselves and we bringing out the people and we just having fun and people being celebrated. It's all Guyanese cast. Everybody was Guyanese. Everybody from rope to soap.
Mm-hmm.
And we had, in 2006, that was I think 2006 was a critical year for Guyanese music.
Mm-hmm.
It's when Tumika had just finished winning the jingle competition. She started nothing at all. Nesta they just busting out Anaconda. I had just done a song with the entertainers, which was Corinne and a couple of people. All those was in the era. That was the best year for the Guyanese music. I mean,
Getting your comedians and
right?
your dancers.
And we had
You had
a
the
whole
classic.
bunch,
You had the
people
passive
in the
dancers.
in
You
the
had
in the
everybody.
whole section. So you know, and it was look like if it looked then like if the Guyanese music is gonna it already taken off already. When you get a show that getting more people than a Luciano show, because they had enough Luciano show that came to Guyana around the same time that was some promoters bring Luciano and the show didn't. Some people even bring Beres Hammond to a show in Guyana around the same time. But it was a more politically divided something. And some of these shows didn't have the kind of turnout that it was supposed to have, right? But the Guyanese shows, we were always having the support. And it's not like the shows that were perfect because we didn't have the budget to give no
Mm-hmm.
fancy lights, no all the different finger dangles. We just barely scrape money, forget the venue, and put just certain basic things inside. And if we were given the support, if I was given the government support, the $9 million that passing around with and counting to do what I was doing back then, we would have been in a better place right now. But I didn't get no support. But I can't vex nobody for not wanting to tell them how to spend the money, right? But I have a problem when people won't come in now and tell me that you want nothing from them old ass niggas that been before because it's just young people time right now. Young people can't get big if they wasn't nurtured by old people. Because they would have been dead. So a certain amount of respect should come into the business. And Sammy never apologized for that statement. And for that, and I have no respect for him. You can't give me respect. Because people like Bonnie Alves and a whole bunch of people back in them days. A matter of fact, put it this way, and I'm gonna give you another food for thought. Another guy you should talk with is Bonnie Alves. Bonnie got a whole history of Guyana in details. He more detailed than me. I might just angry and flap over me how and blah blah blah. But Bonnie could give you dates and more specific things than me. Bonnie is a good guy to talk. If you really want to chronicle Guyana, you got to talk to Bonnie Alves. You
Mm-hmm.
want to chronicle Guyana, also got to talk to Vision Songs, which is Wally Fraser. Them guys know stuff. Borchmo Simon is not a guy who knows a lot of stuff because we've been there in the beginning. Some of the other folks done that already. So you got to capture these people now. So you got it in your archives and you can just go back as reference and say, hey, bam, 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 bam. You know, but Bonnie in 1999 to like 2003, the only person that was producing music in Guyana was Bonnie Alves from Signal. The
Mm-hmm.
whole the whole the whole the whole calypso competition would have been dead if Bonnie Alves was not present. So all I was saying, but all this whole thing and that there was little banner running around with the shirts, body black, 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 back in them days, you know, and the kind of disrespect people who've been putting in the job. I'm not saying that Bunny's perfect, but at the end of the day, right, regardless of what Amar bring to the table, when nothing else was happening, until now, some of
Mm,
the big people that you hear right now came through Bunny Yabs. I mean, it's not a Bunny Yabs interview, but I'm gonna big up the people because that was the people who put the stuff in. No, Jackie Jacks passed through Bunyan. Lisa Punch passed through Bunyals. Diana Chapman passed through Bunyals. And they got a whole host of other people who passed through Signal. And we're talking about people who could really sing. So I'm saying to you that to chronicle it without all the arrogance that I bring to the table, you gotta get to Bunny, you gotta get to Vision Songs, you gotta get to Borch, and they're gonna put all the other. So because whilst I was doing what I was doing, I was helping everybody. I did not do what I did because when I started and that was in the early 90s. You know, Shelly came on board with me in 2004, and then Shelly we produced a song, "Touch Me." I think I give you that video. We produced Touch.
mm,
That was our first song. That song was done in like about 4 or 5 studio until I completed the project by my studio, and we and she entered us. That song was entered into the Soca Monarch 2005. And
mm,
Shelly got second place in 2005, being an entry artist. Just straight off the Buck People Plantation, straight into the Soca Monarch, right?
mm,
And get second place over seasoned artists like Sid Hooper, Compton, Cody Hodges, and all. The Adrian got first, she got second
mm,
because of the work that you put in to getting your artists visible in the moment. Because we did a lot of work for visibility. So once there's visibility, artists can go. And I've been proving that point all the time. Shelly's not the best singer in the world, but I can guarantee you, you name any Guyanese artist, and I put you on stage them and they can't she gonna get them a ramp for the money,
mm.
right? So I would like to see an influx of monies in the right way into the music industry, not just for one side of people who will come out and ask black people for vote when it's election time, right? And I probably wouldn't even send a message to the PPP government on your show right now because black people are easy to please. Why do you want to spend $9 million on one black person? If you take the same $9 million and spend it on another 400 something thousand black people, all of you gonna vote for you when election time coming. You ain't gotta beg nobody anything. A black man just want to wake up with the money. He could look after the children. He could pay bills. He could live a reasonable, comfortable life without stress. All the amenities of life is there. And once you could spread the money around everybody, then APNU and PNC would never see another elections in Guyana. So it don't
Mm.
make it's waste time for find 5 or 6 black people for get them everything and piss on the rest of black people, right? When you could take the same money you gain them 5 black people and get all the black people. And you
Mm.
don't even have to election card, you don't even got one party can show up. Because the rest of the party can say, we ain't gonna follow, we ain't coming, we ain't contesting this election. And people run Guyana forever.
Mm.
I mean, this might not be the right forum you like to have it announcing on your program, but you invite me, you invite me, invite all kind of stuff into the mix up.
So, so just touching on the young and old and all of these things,
Y'all look very uncomfortable.
for for the down to
Done, done.
bring it a little bit. So for the past, I don't know, 6 7 months or maybe a year, I mean, we've been hearing a lot of um the old people need to step aside, and is the young people time, and this goes on both ends. This goes on the younger artists, on the older artists, and we talking about seasoned promoters like yourself, producers like yourself, and you know, a person like a me or a Sammy or something like that. Now,
for me, my experience in dealing with you and listening to some of the other guys is that I would not push you guys to the side because you guys come with a lot of knowledge. And tonight you said so many things that I've never heard before, right? And that is showing me that you have so much to share, so much to give, but your way of presenting it might not be how they want to hear it. I mean, we had our initial head bumping, but you know, we started that out, right? We started that out, and I my advice to young artists, to young promoters is yes, you're gonna come with fresh ideas, you're gonna have a different view on things, you might have more energy, you might, be more enthused, but somebody like a Ian Johnson and the Birch and these guys, they have the knowledge, they have the understanding of how this thing works. And it takes the seasoned ones and the new ones. And when I say new, me personally, I've been at this for pretty much like 20 years, right? And I will consider myself well-rounded, but I would not say that I don't need Ian Johnson or the other guys. I would not do that because there's so much more. I've been empowered so much more with talking with you mainly, and I see your passion, even your consistency on the WhatsApp Guyana on Caribbean Power Jam. If you can't do it there, you do it at your studio. And is that in itself, it encourages me to even push even farther and even harder. So I don't know why is it that we mixing, fusing, and that's why I call the show Fuse, because we are fusing everything, all nationality, all um race, everything we fuse in the young and the old, right? This is what it's about. And that's the only way that we can actually move forward and be effective, is mixing the two knowledge, right? Mixing the two knowledge. So my question to you is like, what is your message to the ones? I mean, I know you said a lot concerning it, but I just wanted to be more direct in me asking the question and getting an answer. Like, what is um your message to the younger ones, or the ones that saying we don't need the older guys involved, we want fresh blood?
Well, I will, that statement speaks a lot for the individual who said it. I I would want to ask myself the question, if he's respectful of his mother and father, or his pastor, or people in the circle. I feel he has an authority issue in the circle that he's in the church circle, just by the choices of his words makes me want to believe that. Because if you had respect for your mother and your father, which is I probably just as old as me, that statement in when I come out when I come out to your mouth. I'm saying here that it's not nothing that we did wrong that caused the music industry to be where it is today. And I would put it on the table. We didn't do it. We had passion for this stuff, man. We went at so many meetings with different politicians and stuff, with a whole bag of promises and this and that and that. This is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. And it's all empty,
Hmm.
right? The only politician that I saw made a statement, the president says he's gonna spend at least 100 million in entertainment. I saw it happen at the cricket carnival. I saw him work his magic at the Guyana show, where the Buck of Old Bornham trick, where they tell the businesses you have to buy the tickets, and when the tickets were bought, they went into communities and they give the ticket out, and people came out and support the show. So it just gives you the impetus to say, that if there's an influx of finance in the Guyanese music, great things are going to happen. This is not a one man thing, you know.
Mhm.
And as I see it, you know, Sammy took this opportunity when it came his way and said, "Here, I get the ears of the president. I'm gonna wind this thing in my direction," you
Mhm.
know, and he did it, you know. But I'm saying that he's not the only person in Guyana. I want to caution the government, right, of Guyana, that in the business sector, there is something as unfair competition. And if you're just going to empower one person over all the multitude of people, then the government going to be guilty of that crime of favoritism in the business sector. They just empower one person and leave everybody else out, you
Mhm.
know, and that is not democracy as everybody want to talk about. You know, there's favoritism. There is not for whatever purpose it is. So I'm saying right now the same help that Sammy got, the boards, the Vision Songs, every other studio, the AJ, the Code Red, and every other studio in Ghana. All of them have people who've been producing stuff with minimum resources, but they've been producing music for Guyana,
Mhm.
right? And before Sammy had studio, well, you get studio now, but Sammy was recording at Vijay at Paradigm Studio, which is the person responsible for all the hits and everything you're hearing from Sammy. He was recording at somebody else, you know. Sammy didn't carry business to that guy, and he's Indian. Sammy bring the business to him because the president called him the name,
Mhm.
right? And if you notice, I ain't frightened for calling nobody name because I name Ian Johnson. You know, if you could sue me from now, I'm being ready for that. I can probably just say, hey, you win, and I'll disclose my, you know, because what I'm telling y'all is the truth. You know, I'm not lying. It's right. This time he did not have money to do a studio. He said when all this thing been happening, all they wanted to do was to have a conference or to have a talk with the president. He got the talk, he got the studio. Let's watch and see right now who else he's going to empower. Is he going to just come right now and say, hey, all the recordings for the Guyana gonna have to come to my studio, and then he's gonna take it and distribute it to everybody else. He gonna be the king Waha, you know,
Mhm.
because this is how he come over. He come over very arrogant. And I say I apologize to Sammy, to Joel to Cool, and to what's his name again? The other one, the karaoke guy, you know what it's called, Calvin. For my statements I made with them earlier, you
Mhm.
know. But I wasn't wrong. And I always said this one thing and I said it again, right? Joey just be at the wrong place at the wrong time. So when I send him bombs, if he's sitting down with them and my bombs going to them, he can get me a casualty of war because the bomb falling right in the middle, you know, and he right there lineman. So, you know, he's a cool cat. But I don't know nothing much about Calvin. I never had dealings with Calvin. I never had dealings with Sammy, but Sammy introduction to me, but telling me about old people and the arrogance, you know. And I would love for them for sit at the table and iron out all the misconception. Because I'm gonna keep coming at them until they fix this thing right. If I don't see the things right and I keep asking the question, and I'll ask the question again tonight before this live is over. When the government pays for the recording for an artist to record, who owns the recording at the end of the production? I asked that question 6 months ago when this whole thing, and nobody seemed to want to answer it. And I'm going to answer the question tonight. Whilst I'm waiting on the answer, I can give you the answer. The answer is going to be when you go to Sammy to record or to whoever other studio that the government have to record, they can help you write your song. They can take 50% of your writing. They're gonna be the composer, so they're gonna own the other 50% of the song. So when you leave the recording studio, you only own 25% of your song. 25% is a minimum when the major part of the stuff is 75%. Now on the flip side of this, if the government is paying for the money to the studio and the government says that is work for hire, then when you leave the studio, you're supposed to be leaving with a hard drive with all the material, your finished material in it because the government paid for it for you. And you are now 75% owner of your music because you just pay the composer for he think he collecting money, he work for hire. So the composition becomes yours, your writing is yours, and the 25% copyright on the other end going to end up being he owned. So you left the studio owning 75% of your song. Compliments of the government of Guyana. You can lie down and sleep and kiss Dr. Imran Ali, Big Toe, Little Toe, all the different toes, and said, "Thank you, sir. You've been kind and very good to the Guyanese musician. We are now owners of our own material." If it's the flip side, then when election time come around, you hear the song can't play because we own 75% of that song.
Hmm.
So the song automatically can get flagged, not because it's not good, but because the owners them said they didn't want it play. So I asked some very stupid question because remember the old people stupidity and dotage. We don't have no sense because the young people, right, who are byproducts of us anyway, right? So if we stupid, then we and I don't know. I can't really do the logics, right? But I'm a university graduate, as you heard that from before. I doesn't fall off the coconut tree. I was
Hmm.
very worthless and wicked, and I grew up. I was one of them bad people, but I didn't know my schoolwork.
Hmm.
So we in a situation right now, like I said to be before, is that I would like to. It's not too late for us to fix the situation. All I'm saying to Sammy, bury your freaking arrogance that you have right now. Yes, I mean, come to the table knowing that you alone cannot do this. No one person can do make the music business happen. If one person can make the music business happen in America, they would have only been Quincy Jones or Barry Gordy Jr.
Hmm.
But there's them and other people. There's a whole bunch of people who keep doing what they're doing. And when you add it up at the end of the day, and everybody throw a thing for the table, it's a nice big mountain. Hey, did we do all of this? Yes. Everybody individually supporting and helping and stuff. And next thing we got to see happen, I like most times you see a Guyana album, and I beg you to do this and check it out. An album come with a particular artist. You look at it, if they work at the studio, is the three people in the studio alone work on this thing. Nobody else don't work on nobody. They don't cross the table. If somebody else on at Code Red is good at drums, they wouldn't carry the drums over there. If this person is good at vocals and in vocal coaching, you carry the vocals over to cross colors because there's where the vocal people there. You know, if this guy's good at guitars, we carry the project gun over to Darrell now because Darrell is good at this. You don't have that right now.
Hmm.
Everybody producing the music with their limited ability. That's why the music sound now it sound part of it sound good. The drums is beautiful, your guitar sucks, your vocals is shit, and that's what the problem is. Because if we take time and look for the strengths from everybody and just say, hey, we're gonna build something that is proper, or we can just use the strength from everybody and put a proper song.
Hmm.
You can't go wrong. And even though you might hear me cussing and fuming over Corbin and Rod and them kind of stuff, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna redeem them tonight with a story. Now, I'm an amputee, so when I was in Guyana, every 5 years I had to get a new leg. My leg used to cost me 20,000 US dollars every 5 years. This is the 23rd year in me being a 1 foot man. Put it away.
Hmm.
Every time I come around for me to get a new leg, me, Ronald Curran, cussing or no cussing, I used to walk in the office and demand that they give me at least $2,000 to $3,000 US. And they used to give it to me. Even though we cuss and abuse and kick and I said this to mean that even though me and Sammy could be kicking up and y'all might be thinking of going at tea, but if I did this before with other people and it doesn't mean because they give me the money, me and them and cuss it next year. Every time we come around, because I have to be Ian Johnson. You
Hmm.
can't stop me from being me. Right? And if I had to choose to work with anybody in Guyana, if I have to choose the lesser of all the evils, I would work with Roland Corwin.
Hmm.
Because I know the heart. Them is businessman. If you go to them and they ain't seeing business and wherever you see, they're not gonna rally with you.
Hmm.
I mean, them argue in and out. A broader point is just that they understand that it's not just the friction and the fusion and all that kind of stuff. And I make enemies and all that. Every single time, every 5 years, I should go to them and they say, give me money for put towards my $20,000 for my foot.
Hmm.
So that, I don't know what to speak to you, but it speak volume to me because I'm not an easy person. I mean, you had a little taste right back and forth with you and stuff, but And we are right today. And I'm sure if I needed the 20,000 now, you would probably give me a donation for it right now. But I don't need it. God give me in a better place right now where, where I'm able to take care of myself
Mhm.
with that. Right? But every time I had to get a leg, I would go to Royal and Corbin and they used to give me money.
Mhm.
Regardless if it cost yesterday, day before yesterday, or last night. So there's space in this business for make it happen. And there's this movement, okay, we're gonna kick out hits and jams because and things. Listen to me. Them guys get the experience. If we're able to win them into supporting the Guyanese Trust, then nobody could stop this business. All the Jamaicans, them that came to Guyana and make big shows, is them through their station. Excuse me. Through their station, they get big.
Mhm.
If Roland Cohen decide tomorrow morning, I heard that Corey went or is at some conference in Jamaica. I'm hoping that the Jumbie take you over. So when he come back again, it's good to send him on these things and let Jumbie take you over. A good Jumbie. So when he go back to Guyana, he can feel the Ian Johnson fever. He can feel the Malachi fever. He can feel, yeah, listen to me. There's some people in this business that you have to give them credit for what they did.
Mhm.
And I'll give you the right now. You didn't ask me for it, but it's ask what is necessary, and I'm gonna tell you what is necessary. Celebrating the people who worked.
That's right.
Malcolm Ferreira, right? He was part of my talent show. Malcolm grew up in the talent show. Malcolm get known as an artist through my programs them.
Mhm.
But Malcolm went on radio. Or when Malcolm went to radio, Malcolm was violating the protocols at the radio station by playing Guyanese music all the time until the government recognized that what he was doing was a good thing. He's making them look good. So they continued to encourage him. He was the Guyana man on the radio station.
Nice.
And then after Malcolm was Malachi, but Malachi is one of the guys who tried to distort history. He's trying to put himself long before he was ever relevant. So he came after Malcolm, and you told him I said that. And then we have a conversation with him, tell him Ian Johnson said he came after Malcolm Ferreira. Because that's the order how it was. And he came with a passion, and he still have a passion till today. I commend him for his passion, right? But he just need to make sure that he put himself in the right here and take the credits for what is due to him. I don't try to take nobody else's credit. But he came in with a passion and he did his stuff and he's doing it until today. And then we get the other name right now where a lot of people just want to laugh and thing and kind of thing. Now, Shabda is the next guy who come into this stuff. Like the guy in this thing, Shabda have an insatiable love for what he does. How how he goes around it might be another situation, but he he is into what he's into. If you cut Shabda, 150% of Guyanese blood gonna come out from inside. The Guyanese music gonna flow, all them flowing out from inside down there. Even to the ones who can't sing. And that's one of the things you gotta start doing. You gotta be able to tell a man in face, hey, you need to go and do this done. Stop trying to love things that ain't ready yet.
Mhm.
And there's the fault that he has. He try to make everybody feel good. But this business and got space to feel good inside. I learned after years of going through patting people upon the head. Because I'm seeing people when they start making it after you get them advice, they don't come back to
God.
you. They're gone. So I give them people credit for stuff. I remember this woman, Edith Peters. I don't know if you know her, but she was a music teacher in Ghana for years. And her passion was ours to have a music school and all them kind of stuff. That woman died with that desire for that happening again. Every government that came in frustrated the life out of music.
Hmm.
That is one unhappy soul in wherever she there, if it's heaven or wherever she's there, because she never get to complete what she wanted to do. You got Marlon Joe and all them other people with the same desire, want to see things happen for the music, but politics always just come in and screw everything up. But nobody wants to talk the truth. Everybody's come, everybody got to rub somebody's head because you want rub, you want. I have to say to me, right, I don't give a shit ass what people say or think right now because it's about time people. I have always been who I am. And if some of them say that I haven't done anything, I haven't done it because I cuss everybody along the chain and line from manager to general manager. When you didn't see, I would work with the things that I want to do. I didn't care if you didn't support me, because God always provided money for me if I do me thing anyway. It
Mhm.
might have been done with all the big flares and them kind of stuff, but it was done. And I've already planted enough seeds in Guyana for people to know that our Guyanese show is possible in Guyana. Now, which brings me to my last point, if you allow me to finish this one,
Mhm.
that I would like to see, and this is for the future of the business. The future of the business require artists to get off of their lazy asses and start to work towards gathering a mass. Everybody in the head is Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston and Rihanna. In the head, they're that. It's not translated to the rest of the world. So when your name come up on the flyer, the world never know who is you, whatever your name. Put your name in the space, in the blank, 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 blank. The people don't even know who is you. In your mind, you're better than Beyonce, you're better than Rihanna, you're better than everybody. But the world don't know who is you. You got to spend time on your Facebook page and all your social media pages going and celebrating people, because that's how it's come back to you.
That's right.
You know, you got to celebrate the people. Somebody posts something on your page and says something nice, you go to the page, you extend a nice, kind response to them. You know, you say, listen, I'm going to hold you so that the next time I have a concert, I'm going to invite you out. That don't happen. Very few people doing that. And I want to boast on Shelly, but let's tell you something. Somebody who's very proactive on the page with the people is Shelly.
Mhm.
I'll give away some of his secret tonight because it's good for the business. She's very proactive with the people. So when we keep things in Queens, all the Shelly Indian people that up on the page, and they'll come out because they want to see she, because she celebrate them. I want to see Guyanese artists. So if I get a flyer with 5 Guyanese artists on it and the venue could only hold 500 people, I want everybody bring 100 people. So everybody ready for singing, 100 people saying, yeah, yeah, go, go, go.
That's right.
No, but let me tell you the reality. You hire them, all of a sudden, since you hire them, they are Michael Jackson. It's dun, 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 dun. There's Michael Jackson. So they ain't got to do nothing no more. And they turn up in the place, them and the girl turn up. They know the neighbor dog, they ain't got no friend, they ain't got no cousin, they ain't got nobody. Them alone turn up in the place, right?
Hmm.
And when the night done, they come in and looking for you for money. Well, I tell you right now, I am opening to everybody. Y'all got plenty songs to sing to me. Because when I hire you and you don't bring nobody, you're not getting paid. I say it on television, on radio. When you don't bring nobody, you're not getting paid. When I hire you, you have to be part of the promotion. You have to be part of the mobilization. Otherwise, we ain't going nowhere. Just wasting time. All them wants to come and get paid, but they're bringing nothing to the table. And that
Mhm.
is the problem we have in not only in New York, not only in Guyana, everywhere they get Guyanese artists. You hire
Facts.
Spice, and I'll tell you something, because I had dealings with situation where we hire Spice for something. Since Spice gets your advance, Spice up on your page, and she Guyana, and she behaving bad for you thing.
Hmm.
You hire a Guyanese artist. I had a comedian I did a show for. You know when he put up the show on the page, the day of the show, this when you know that he's part of the show. Because this when he put it up on the page.
Hmm.
Everybody too big right now, and this is why we ain't getting no. We got a lot of people who bigger than the business without no following. You're being judged in this business. Look at all the ratings that Rihanna getting. Look at all the ratings, even in the basketball arena. When I tell you how much thousands of points you're scoring there, everything get a rating.
That's right.
If you don't put in the work, you can't expect to get nothing out of it. You don't put in no
Mhm.
work. I would like to see Guyanese artists convert the fans, because this is something you need to understand. Fans on your page is not supporters. Fans just sit on your page because it's I die here. So if today they're laughing at you, I'm gonna laugh because I get my popcorn and I get my Coca-Cola. Right? They're temporarily. You have to take everybody on your page and convert them into a supporter.
That's right.
But you could on Facebook, you could ask them. You could Facebook give you all a wonderful opportunity where people could come and give support you every month. So, but you could get a sponsored fund who give you $5 or $4 or $3 a month. You get 1,000 people for give you $3. At the end of every month, as an artist, you get $3,000. You could fly to Jamaica, you could pay for a studio, and you could come back and even do a video with $3,000 in Jamaica. If you're going to Jamaica for your stuff, from the fans on your page, because you convert fans into supporters who gonna be turning up at every event that you have. But we just let the people sit on my page. Oh, I got 100 and something thousand people. Yeah, you got 100,000 people. Some of them is you pay for, and then they don't even know you. They're just there as a number on your page. We need
Mhm.
to convert the numbers into real support. And that is how this music business is going to propel forward. Because the first of the events that you have in New York, let me say every Guyanese event you go to sold out in New York. You know, there'll be a revolution happening here.
That's right.
Every promoter from another country gonna say, hey, we gotta bring two Guyanese guys, and
Again,
people come over there. But no, everybody just want to sit down on the sit upon, and they want to bring free money to them. I ain't bringing nothing to nobody. If you're not prepared to work, then them same four letters, you.
so um, the live went way longer than usual, but I intentionally let that happen because information um, that a lot of people have to hear, especially the artists, is right now it's necessary. And I think we've been sweeping a lot of things under the rug for way too long and not wanting to step on toes and all of these things. I'm in the place where I stop worrying too much about feelings, and I just do what I need to do. Right, I do what I need to do. And just like you were saying, in terms of artists promoting an event, we are lacking that, like, on like, it's ridiculous to a degree, right? And if we should, if promoters, I should say, should get that support from the artists, like, be excited, post your stuff, not because you might have a okay fan base, it means that, you don't have to post, or you think you see the promoter posting and they doing all of these things, it means that, that they good and they handling it. No, as an artist, is your job, you're obligated to, as far as I see it, to let your fans know where you will be at. Plus, you have to get them excited as well. You have to get them excited as well, so that's how they would actually come out.
And we need to start supporting each other. Listen to me. There's a lot of movements happening. You get diplomat music, regardless of how you view something. These guys are working, they're spending the money in situation. Let's embrace and support one another, man. Don't kill everything that is not for we kill. Let me kill bad mind. Let me kill the not supporting. Let me kill the real things that need killing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah. Power jam in a space where they could them could bust Guyanese artists also. Every time you go on, the thing is to ask artists to send the music to the station, contact the station, see how you can work with them to make something happen. Everybody saying that corner, nobody ain't want to do nothing for me, nobody ain't doing nothing for me. But you're getting them numbers. I just don't get them nothing empty. I get them numbers and put stuff up and say, God, it's not me. I don't own the station, but I
Mm.
know what they're capable of doing. So I say, man, contact Sean. See what you can do and work with. Right now, everybody wants to manage their own self. Because this is what going on right now. Most Guyanese artists, you talk to them, they manage themselves. So
Hmm.
if you're managing yourself, you gotta prepare to get up off your sit upon and work. Pick up
That's
the phone, call Power Jam, ask Sean, say, hey, this is my position, this is the music I have. How can I work with the station or the station work with me? What
that's
is
right.
required for make some? They don't do that. But then they're still saying, oh, that man is at Power Jam when you just want to look after foreigners and things. I just go in there, Jamaicans just walk inside down there and come and bring the music and then take out a little envelope and get them a little bit big because they want the music play.
Hmm.
Guyanese artists, on the other hand, feel that you must go online and search. You can't go nowhere and find Guyanese music in the first place. You must go and search for them online, pull down the music. If the cuss 20 times in the song, you must go and edit out the cuss, and then you must play the song. Come on, man. We got to do better than
That's
this.
right. That's right. That's right.
Nobody can say, okay, yeah, you're killing the same people you're trying to promote. I don't give a shit because reality is reality. This is what they do all the time. They complain about power jam. They pump every day. Boy, these people could do so much about you. Almost Jamaican thing. The Jamaicans and the Grenadians, the Vinci, all of them walking into the station and they're asking for help and they're getting help from Guyanese people who own the station.
Hmm.
You don't think if you go there, you're not going to help too? But you can't sit down at your house and judge and then decide to get up off your ass and walk and go to the place and ask and find out what favors you get. The Bible said if you ask and it shall be given unto you. They never said think about it and you can come.
Hmm.
Ask and it shall be given unto you. You got to work within the scriptures right now. The Bible says the only reason you don't get is because you don't ask. You have to go. This is scripture. I talk in scripture right now. Put on my pastor suit right now. You gotta go. You have to ask before you get. Go to the station. Ask for Sean. I give you our name. I can't remember your number out in my head, but I sure if you Google Caribbean Power Jam, my number gonna pop up, and when you call the number, he can answer the phone. Come on, man. Sean Demrock got
Gotta
a
be.
radio, 24/7 radio. You guys need artists wake up every morning. The first thing you're supposed to do after you done brush your teeth and tell your family or say your prayers is to go on your Facebook and share the link for the radio station.
Hmm.
How many y'all do that?
Hmm.
I have WhatsApp radio playing 24/7 music for the last 3 years. I was going to school when I built the radio. Right? I tell a couple of people about it and they never launch it. It never launched, but it's there and a lot of people listening to it from other different parts of the world. But I'll share the link on Facebook. How many others go back and say to tell, hey, if you want to listen to some Guyanese music, you could go whatshotradio.com or you could go demrockradio.com. Guyanese artists do not share your music, this the station link, they don't share me link. I don't know what more we have to do for them. We put the music on a platform where
Hmm.
explain 24/7. After they finish brushing their teeth and saying the prayers and looking after the family, the next thing they will go Facebook and just share the link for them rock. If you don't like Ian Johnson, don't share what's hotradio.com. Just share them rock. If you like both of me, then you share both links. People have a choice where they want to listen. They can listen some. Me think I share old people music and mix up. He's a young boy. He got let me young teeny boppers in he thing. So you could choose how you want to do it. But there's a place that you could go and find the music. But y'all need to celebrate the effort.
Yeah.
Because if Sean decided, said, hey, this is it, and I decide, you tell me who else you got for pop up right now. You got Talk with the Tongue where they keep doing this stuff. So you share the people that are celebrating you. I want to see a culture that would support the people who are supporting
Yes.
you.
Yes, sir.
And I know they don't share your link because if they share your link, you'll see it on the page in the morning. Because you run all on Facebook page, they don't see that, hey, tag somebody and put demrockradio.com. So when the person click on it, the gun. Come on, man. This thing is not rocket science.
Nope.
We didn't even calculate for no internet. Because back in the days, if you had a pigeon or something, nothing in moving and going away. Now you can just sit down and just and it gone. Come on, man. Somebody share something on a page, and this is the next thing happening to all these different groups that we have on Instagram and on WhatsApp. Somebody share something in the group, and everybody just look at it and pass it. It's
Hmm.
not gonna hurt you if you click the share thing and bring it to your page and or put it into a group or something for somebody. They don't do that.
Even on a story that disappears, you don't necessarily have to put it on your timeline. That's what a lot of people have to understand is that if you put it on your story, WhatsApp story, your messenger story, your IG story, it disappears in 24 hours. So you don't have to worry about having a cluttered timeline on your Facebook or your Instagram,
And
right?
and for, and just to tell you some of y'all, some of the stuff you are putting your reels and them kind of stuff from Guyanese artists, you get paid for it too, Once it get a certain amount of attention, Facebook's in your race, so you getting more incentive for put one or two artists in reels right now because you can get what's due to you, the artist can get what's due to the artist because it's a split stuff.
Yeah.
So it is not. Oh, I'm doing it. Or you can get a message on Facebook say from Facebook saying, hey, We need your account so we could give you our money. It might not be no big money, you got a $30, but you imagine if you just share one person get $30. What if you just think about it, share 40 or 50 top Guyanese artists every month at $30, 30 at 40, it's $1,200, right? Just like that. And you don't do nothing else but share Guyanese artist stuff,
Mhm.
and you're real nice, and you're still serving your function, and Facebook giving you a little money. The Guyanese artists move on to another level, and they get in booking and all them kind of stuff. And you could get bragging rights. You could say, hey, I'm responsible for that person because I've been sharing them. Go to my page. Because one of the beautiful part of Facebook is the history. You could go in there and run back through everything. You could see everything you've been doing from the beginning of time till now.
Mhm.
Come on, man. We want to run your history and see you've been working for us. Stop
Yes,
with this, just blabbing your mouth with air and you're working. Work your fingers, your brain, and let your heart
that's
tell
right.
you, listen to me, it's about time I empower somebody. Empower people, man. It's not gonna hurt you.
Totally agree on.
Empower a matter of fact, you feel better when I just feel good when I could do something for somebody else.
That's right.
You ask anybody in this business if they could ever call me and I ever shut them out. I just go backwards, sideways, front, even though I get the most screwed over. I a auntie man from people screw me over. Trust me, a real serious auntie man. Me whole bigger than the ocean right now. Because I get screwed left, right, and center. But I still, every same time somebody come, I forget the other person who screwed me over and I continue to help them. Because there are some good people in the world. You should not always want to take the experience of the last person and apply it to the next person coming in your way. Because the next
Mhm.
person might be Jesus coming and asking you for a glass of water and you tell you carry Ross because yeah, the last person drink the water and then say thanks. No man, Sean, this thing could happen. The people who listen to this program, they play a big role in this whole project too. You go on an artist video, when you go to the video page of the artist, if there's a subscribe button, you subscribe to the person. And this is my last point. You can cut me off after now, because this is a powerful point we're making right now.
Good.
To be monetized on YouTube, you probably need, I think, is a what I think 1.8K subscribers or something like that, or somewhere around there. We know everybody in this business. Everybody, you just got when somebody get a video and you go to the YouTube page, just as a you're not an artist, you're just a follower. You just like the thing. Just keep
That's right.
subscribing to the people and thing. Subscribe. You go to them on the Facebook. You follow them. You something pop up in the feed. You like it. Just don't say it's nice and in your head. Go and type something. You see all these little things you're doing, giving the artist ratings in the Facebook world. And all these ratings is add up and just value them and weigh them.
That's right.
And you get your watch hours and you get your different stuff. So just don't just think that because you're a spectator on the other side, that you play a vital role. Encourage your friends and your family. You see something coming from a page, you invite your friends. And hey man, listen to this guy in this person. As you're doing that, just subscribe to the page. Now, if you're somebody who get nerve problems, it's easy. You can turn off the notification. So if you want notification after 11 o'clock, you just click on your notification button and set all notifications off. So it's not going to come on no more. Tomorrow morning, you wake up back, you just one touch it, come on back. Come on, man. Yeah,
Purpose is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
building. The purpose is building each artist with the numbers and the views and all these things, and that in turn would it would look good on all the artists, and
I,
everybody
I
support.
ain't got beg nobody. Because some people calling some people who get some big numbers on the page and begging them for help. You don't need to beg nobody. Everybody can get the right number. And as I said, this if we work together, it's easy. The amount of artists with the followers that they have, everybody could just help everybody so they
That's
reach the
right.
threshold so you could get monetization from Facebook. You reach the level so you could get monetization on YouTube. So there's an
Everybody help each
income
and
for
everybody.
for the artist, and you could have income, and when you got an income coming in, it's easy for you to do stuff yourself. Everybody say, "Oh, you need better videos. You need to have songs every." And that brings me to my last of all the last points. Rihanna ain't do nothing new for the last 7 years, but Rihanna went and sing all she old song and the whole world enjoy Rihanna. But Guyanese artists gotta make new song, 10 song every damn month so that they could be relevant. That nobody don't play on the stage. You got beg people. I don't know what else you gotta do. I hear some people do all kind of crazy thing for getting music play, but I not gonna talk about that on your program. You're a Christian boy. I can't talk about that thing for your program. But they want you 10 song a month. Well, you don't do nothing in the last no. She ain't do nothing in 7 years, and she go there and she breaking all the record. Here, this Instagram account here, how much things have happened. She
Six
numbers
hundred and
gone past
something
this. She this the
percent
blah blah
in the
blah blah.
streams.
Oh man, come on, man. Y'all get the Guyanese artists a break, man. All this pressure and stuff. Did you listen to the last album the people said you want to do music, new music? Did you listen to the last album? No.
Hmm.
Come on, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say, Sean. Certain things I can't help it. I'm happy that the president has found it in his heart the initiative to put some money into the business.
That's right.
I'm just unhappy with the person he choose to channel the money to because that's a selfish. But I can't even use the word I want to use because I own television. He's a selfish mother guy. Just leave it at that. So, um,
Mhm.
you gotta find the right people who are gonna help the multitude and not just help themselves.
That's right.
We need to see some support out of Guyana, and I'm speaking here to the politicians in Guyana. There are people in New York and outside New York that does more for Guyanese music than the people who live in Guyana,
Hmm.
right? And if you want to know who I'm talking about, you got two of them talking to one another right now on this radio. I asking you to tell you, I challenge y'all to bring up anybody who would just do more than what we just do. And we ain't living in Guyana, but are we resources? Are we waking up? Are we trying to think to see how we could bring people from one place to the next place? Come
Hmm.
on, man. Y'all need to pump some money to sponsoring our programs them that we have in America. Find some way to get it done. We get people in Guyana who collect we check in Guyana currency and send it up to be in the US. So if sending money in US is a problem, we get Guyana representation that could collect we check in Guyana and send it up to the US. Because we're not gonna stop doing what we're doing. And if you say you're interested in the projection of this music industry, then you need to find the people who have been working in it without your money. So if you're
Hmm.
gonna put some of the money that you have with what we have here, then we could do much more. We could create tours in America for every year.
That's right.
Guyanese artists could tour 51 states in America. You don't need to go out 51, 15 states in America they could tour.
That's
We
right.
could create a package every year. So there's an outlet and there'll be less
Easy.
people in purgatory.
Easy.
No, I think I've said enough, Sean. Yeah, you indulge me too much. So
No, no, no. We went approaching 2 hours, and like I said, this was intentional because I wasn't going to cut it off at an hour because I know you have a lot to say, and I am pleased with everything that was shared tonight. Right? I am pleased with everything that was shared tonight because it's pure knowledge, wisdom that you spill tonight, right? Um, as much as I do, as much as you do, and many other guys like ourselves that's doing, we need the support. We truly need the support. For the things that I do, there's so much more that my brain can switch to do once it's being supported financially. I can't do it. I can't keep going in my pocket. I can't keep going in my pocket, and it's because of the love that I have for the music and for the artist. And it's like you say, it's a zombie that is just like that is just holding on to you, and you cannot let it go because of the love, and you want to see so much done, and you feel like if it is that you don't do it, that you seeing very few people doing it at a certain level. Not to say that nobody's not doing it, but I have my level that I do my stuff at, and it's not going to be watered down in at no level. I do it to the best of my ability, regardless if I have to put a lot or a little money in. For example, the awards that just passed. Like I really went all out in graphics and all of these things, and it was a lot of time invested, you know. And it was I didn't get that support, but I'm not gonna cry over it. I'm not gonna cry over it. I just learned from certain mistakes that I made, in trusting that some people will support, and they just left me high and dry.
I so you know what's comforting also, even if you don't ever get the support of the corporate and the government, the artists that just take your time out to celebrate, I would like to see them reciprocating, man. Oh, come on, man. Y'all
Mhm.
can't get people pouring out love every single day. You're going to sleep just thinking of how you could empower the artists, and all the artists thinking about it being selfish. Come on, man. Y'all see something pop up on somebody's page. Sean got a business. If you see a t-shirt pop up on your page for your business and it's $5, $10, share the t-shirt to somebody, because you know what happened? It's the same $10 and $5 taking back again for
Very
come and
much.
spend in for promote you, and then you say, oh, no, 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 no,
Mm,
this is the business. How you think you find the money? You don't do nothing else other than we doing. You sell,
mm,
you get a business, you know.
mm.
I used to do me stuff, the little money that I make. Every time it's do something, you got to calculate again. Oh boy, I want this stuff here. Thank God for America. You could buy something and pay $200 for 2 years until they done place it and you get it. I don't have the option in Guyana. I had to get the money, and but I hear, I invest so much. I invest so much. I get a lot of equipment, a lot of stuff, invest, a lot of money invest in what? A lot of people tell me I'm crazy, or stupid, or mad, and dead, and left all
Same
these
here.
things. But I got a son that like the same thing. I tell you, don't be as stupid as your father. You should make it if you stay away from being stupid like your father.
In closing, give your last minute of what's on your heart.
No, like I said before, and I've been saying it all night. It's about time we throw our differences aside. I
That's
might
right.
have said a lot of hurtful things to a lot of people. It doesn't mean I wouldn't tell you sorry for it. But you generally have to be able to put yourself in a position where we can work together. If you're in a position where you have the empowerment, just don't use it for yourself, man. Try to make sure that everybody else around you, spread it out with your peers, so that everybody will get a piece of the cake.
Hmm.
Let me stop this selfish thing. And the selfish thing has been from time to now. Every new government, a new chosen one is be chosen. Well, a new selfish chosen one is be chosen. Every government is be choosing somebody. They just turn out to be selfish. This is why we there where we there right now. Nobody wasn't a Joseph nor a Moses. Everybody just go and they just wah like an ambulance, and they just take, and then what happened at the end of the day? Zero. Let's celebrate each other.
That's
If
right.
I get a promotion, I get something coming out in the neighborhood, you might not be coming to my stuff. That doesn't mean you can't share the flyer to your
That's right.
friends and everybody else and come out. You know, we events happening for Guyanese stuff. It turn up on your page. Just don't play a blind eye on it. Share it. You might be living in Guyana, but we living in America. And maybe check. Maybe I finish on Power Jam on a Friday night and I check the stats on Facebook. More
I'm
people in
happy to
Guyana
hear
looking
you.
at the program than people in America and Canada and other parts of the world. So we do provide some kind of comfort to the people back home.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Y'all just help us to make this thing happen. I'm on from next month. I'll be every last Friday at Caribbean Fest in Queens. Cause that's my home ground, and it's an Indian business. The woman and her husband, awesome people to work with, man. You know. And I
Nice.
tell them I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here with you. Y'all gotta put me out. So unless the president call them and tell them they don't want nothing to do with me, and they kick me off. But for now, I'm all right with them and be all right. So I want to see us support each other, and that give me the opportunity to mingle with the Indian artists also in Queens, because they come out to our production. We have such a beautiful network going on. That's the only place like it is be. You get Indian and black people together, and everybody dancing up and having fun in a location. It has been so an awesome thing to see. I got some videos I'm gonna start playing them on the on my program so people can see we be having nice fellowship. So we can show you how this thing is there for Indian and black people and Chinese people and all kind of different people can live together and have fun together. It happens in Queens when we get we stuff with Caribbean Fest. Right?
Yeah,
So I'm saying to you folks, every opportunity you have to support the artists, please support. I'm saying to the artists, get off your ass and stop being lazy and work towards your goal. You're self-employed. Develop your brand. Because with me and Sean, you get your own business. If you don't work, you can't get paid.
that's
Your
right.
brand is your music. So get up and work at it. Wherever help you need. If you're gonna send music to the radio, to my radio, Sean Radio, or Caribbean Power Jam, always send the edited version
Editing.
of your
Please.
song because nobody's not gonna edit your song for you. I'm not. I used to do it before. I'm not doing it
Likewise.
because
Likewise.
you're going in the studio. You know very well it's not gonna be accepted, but you choose to do it. So I'm not gonna be editing your music, all right? And I'm not gonna. If it's not after 11 o'clock in the night, I'm not gonna be playing it on my radio. So let's work with each other. Every group that you have, you get the diplomat music group. If whatever help you need from them guys, say call them up. Say what can you folks do for me? You get shop. They get what was shop the business name again? Um, let me shop the business
Patriot.
name. Patriot Song. Call up shop does have a whole bunch of them artists. You just gotta tell them that some of them that they need to go and get voice training, but they're gonna do well if they get the necessary training and everything. He's doing a lot of stuff. Call people and work with people, support everybody in what they're doing. Let's get the element of support. You might not like me. If you don't like me, support Sean, or support somebody
Support
else.
somebody. Support somebody.
And if you have influence in the government of Guyana, just tell them that the people in New York who's been working hard for Guyana, they need to come up with a way to help us in our struggles that we are doing. Because we take real money, we take we hard on children money that go to college and we put it into Guyanese artist production in America. If it doesn't come back our way, then we children the opportunity of a proper care when college time comes
Yeah.
you know. So
True
let's
that.
let's see how we can work together. And regardless of how difficult you think I am, I'm a very malleable person, man. I could fit myself into anything. You have Sean to testify. I mean, Sean been up the road, real up the road.
Up
And
and down.
are we having a conversation tonight? Me and Power Jam been up the road and we having a conversation. Me and Raul, them and Corey, them is go up the road all the time, but we still is work together.
Mhm.
So it's not a case that I can't work together with people. So I'm just saying that we need to find a way to work with each other and just remember that we all in purgatory. We have to find a way to get the music from where it is to a higher level. The people who lives in New York or any other part of the state of the US and you have the ability to for venues and stuff, contact us. Let me see how we can bring a show your way. Call Sean, call me. Any which who you body you call, we can mobilize so we could come and bring something in your neighborhood so we could get a movement from Guyana to America, from America to Guyana.
That's
And
right.
I will leave it like that.
Appreciate your time. Appreciate your knowledge. Appreciate everything that you're doing to help push our industry. And like you've been doing from, way back then, and you're still doing it. So appreciate you and thank you for being here tonight.
It's
Appreciate
a it's a pleasure for you to ask me. I thought you didn't have enough balls to ask me because you think
you.
I always off the trail, but I see I stay on the trail most of the night. I respectfully stay on the trail.
Nah, nah, I didn't had any concerns about that. I didn't have any concerns because a lot of stuff have to be said, and I think everything was on point tonight. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your night, sir.
Thank you, and to all the persons who listen, just share it. You have Guyanese artists that you know that didn't to log in tonight. Just tell them join this conversation, and let's all help to work together with each other for the betterment of the music. your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren might probably come into this industry. So you're building something not for now, but for
Hmm.
the future. And that's all I have to say. Very special good night to everybody.
Thank you, sir. Good night. So there you have it. Um, I don't even want to say that's a nutshell. That was a whole big shell of knowledge and information and a lot of things that I even learned from him tonight. Right. Um, so let's just continue. I mean, the artists continue to share, or I should say, start to get into the habit of sharing. I see they have different groups of artists, and I know of a particular group that they are very supportive of each other. They post a lot. They share a lot of stuff on the what you call it, on the status, right? They share a lot of stuff on their status, and it goes a very long way, a very long way. And I'm talking about guys that have a good following. They do that, right? So, um, in closing, I always show a video at the end of it. So this one is B Nick, Mama, I'm sorry.
Dear God, tell me how man feel so. Something don't feel right, I need you. Tell me how my life turn out like this. I turn back time, oh, I wish. Dear God, tell me how man feel so. Cry till me not have no tears now. Mount a fight as a youth man get. Still we a try. So mama, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. No place for love here in the empty space of which my heart was. Hey, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. Now the consequences here to take me home. But still I praise God, even when the rain a fall. Never really thought me would I reach so far. I never expect much from the place me walk. When them they call me, I never saw me play the part, no. Now everybody gasping, push me overboard, cause them feel so me can't swim. After them see me climb out of the water, I something that now I have to see happen, no. So tell me how my life turned out like this, oh Father. When did I become the bad one? So mama, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. No place for love here in the empty space of which my heart was. Hey, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. Now the consequences here to take me home. No, I'm not perfect, far from a saint. And yes, maybe I could have found a better way. But let's be honest, for once be real. Would you really not complain if you were me? So mama, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. No place for love here in the empty space of which my heart was. Hey, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. Now the consequences here to take me home. Dear God, tell me how man feel so. Something don't feel right, I need you. Tell me how my life turn out like this. Turn back time, oh, I wish. Dear God, tell me how man feel so. Cry till me not have no tears now. Mount a fight as a youth man get. Still we a try. So mama, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. No place for love here in the empty space of which my heart was. Hey, I'm sorry, I've been caught Now the consequences here to take me home. So mama, I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. No place for love here in the empty space of which my heart was. I'm sorry, I've been caught in the darkness. Now the consequences here to take me home.
Good night. Much love. Bless up. Peace.